This documentary video was recorded in 2022 by Andre of BGK. It is time to release this. We proudly present to you, Soldier the Survivor.
The death cry in puppies is an unsettling vocalization made just before or at the moment of death. It is usually a prolonged whimper, often described as a heartbreaking or eerie sound. As oxygen levels drop and the brain loses function, puppies may release a final, involuntary sound. Usually it is a prolonged whimper and is described as a heartbreaking or eerie sound. A sorrowful farewell, a whisper of life slipping away. It is the death cry, a sound that once heard is never forgotten.
When you hear this sound, it usually means death.
A Soldier Story. BGK Soldier, a very young, resilient pup, was faced with a life or death situation at an early age. He suffered an infection that would test his right to be on this planet. He fought the good fight.
There was really something special about him from day one. Like, basically, Soldier would just be more active than his litter mates. He was a little bit more playful, a little bit more lively. He was full of life, full of love. There's something different about him. I can't really put my finger on it, but there was definitely something special about the pup. And they stopped drinking, they would sniff the water, but they wouldn't drink the water. They would sniff the food, but they wouldn't eat the food. They were acting very lethargic. Like, of course, puppies sleep a lot, but there was something different about the way they were being. They weren't eating, they weren't drinking, they weren't really moving around a lot. They were just acting very sluggish, very slow. And I started to see them slowly drop weight. And that's when we started taking them in to have fecal tests done by the veterinarian. We took them in to have blood work done, and we figured out they had an intestinal infection.
Infection that hits his body got worse and worse. The veterinarian office told us most likely he would not live through the night.
It's the part of breeding I hate the most. You're doing everything you can to help a pup survive, and they're telling you, even though they did everything they could, of course, that he's probably not going to make it. So that was a real sad day. It was just a day I don't want to relive. You know, it was bad. It was bad, to say the least. It was a bad day.
These were dark times.
Soldier most likely dying. Like what they told me was, he probably won't make it from our office back to your house. He probably won't live through that drive. Because when we tested for his, when we did his blood work, he had like 50 white blood cells, which basically means he doesn't have an immune system. His immune system is failing. It's pretty much non-existent. And without that, he can't fight off this infection. So the best you can do is kind of make him comfortable, you know, until he passes. If he passes on the way home, don't be surprised. And if he does make it home, he's probably not going to make it overnight. So, I mean, it was a tough time, man. It was watched him very closely, and he wasn't just sniffing the water like they used to do. He was sniffing and licking it. He was sniffing and licking the water. Like, he drank like he needed to, but he was definitely making that effort. He couldn't even stand up. He would just kind of crawl over to the water bowl and put his head in there and drink, you know, but he was actually drinking. That's the key. He was drinking. So at that point, I felt like, as a breeder, if he's going to fight for his life, I'm going to do whatever it takes. I don't care how much it costs. My mind was made up at that point. This is the time where I fight with this pup. There's no way I'm not going to do everything in my power to try to help this pup live his best life, to live a full life. So immediately the next morning, I drove him straight back to the vet's office and said, he's still alive. He's still, like, I was juiced. Like, he's still alive. Look, he's still alive. I'm going to give him to you guys. I don't care what the price is. I don't care what you have to do. Just keep him. You keep him until he's healthy. He can stay here as long as he needs to. It ended up being 2.5 months. He stayed at the vet for 2.5 months, and they had to do a lot to save his life, but man, was it worth it.
Through the love and care that only a true dog lover knows, his breeder, and the veterinarians assisting him, helped Soldier fight for his life.
Him and keep an IV in him to keep him hydrated, because even though he was drinking a little, he wasn't drinking enough to keep him fully hydrated. Now, when you have that fluid coming in through an IV underneath the skin like that for that long, what it starts to do is rip and tear. The skin starts to get dried out and rip from that fluid constantly flowing underneath. So his arm started getting ripped. When I seen pictures of him where his full elbow was exposed, ripped wide open, his neck ripped wide open. I mean, it was bad. They had to do a lot. They had to do skin grafts. They called me up and said, basically, we're going to have to do skin grafts, which are going to be extremely expensive and we really don't know how this is going to work out. He's still not out of the woods, to say the least, because the risk of getting infected is super high right now. He has a lot of exposed flesh. He has just open wounds. Like, we have to do so much. And I mean, they did such a great job. So at that point, I told him, I don't care what, all the medication, all the vitamins, all the supplements, whatever he needs, just do it. It's an open checkbook. I'm gonna do whatever I need to do to make sure that this puppy is healthy.
Soldier showed a true will to live in the face of death. He fought for his life. BGK Soldier was in the vet office for over 2.5 months. Day after day, week after week, month after month.
That they're not just veterinarians, but they're dog lovers, because you have to be a dog lover to put this kind of care and energy into a dog. This wasn't just about the money for them. They fell in love with this dog, and they really used their expertise to do things that they hadn't done before. They weren't doing skin grafts before Soldier. He was one of their first skin grafts, if not their first skin graft, and they done them an amazing job. Like, thank you from the bottom of our heart, from the BGK family to the vet office.
At this point, the vet asked Andre would he like to leave the puppy with them and have no bill, or pay over $6,000 to pick up the pup. The staff had fallen in love with Soldier.
I have an extremely large bill here at this point with this pup. Like, you are looking at right around $6,800, give or take, to pick this pup up. He's fully recovered. He's done great. Like, our staff has gotten really attached to him. He's interacting with everybody. Everybody loves on him. We just love him. This is what we're willing to offer you. We want to keep him as a mascot at the office. If we are able to keep him as a mascot at the office, you do not owe us $6,800. And since you come here all the time to bring your dogs in for checkups and medicine or breeding or whatever, what have you, you'll be able to see Soldier on a regular basis. Every time you come to see us, you get to see Soldier, and then you don't have a bill. Or you can pick them up in about a week. This was about 2 months and a weekend when they made this offer. They were like, we'll keep them, you don't have a bill. Or you could pick them up in a week and you will owe us $6,800. At that point, I mean, first of all, I appreciated the offer. It shows they have a heart. It shows that they weren't about the money. They would have rather just kept the dog and not got paid. Like, how many vets do that? Like, that's amazing that they made that offer. But in my mind, it wasn't even a thought. I had to pay that tab and pick up that puppy. Like, we were so excited to see Soldier again. We hadn't had a chance to go see him because of COVID. So the only thing we got was a few pictures.
When Andre paid the vet office and was reunited with his long-lost friend, he was truly amazed at the soldier's appearance and miraculous recovery. It was like Soldier didn't even realize he had just survived a life or death ordeal. Andre took Soldier home and began to nurse him back to health for the next 5 months.
It was a hell of a reunion because we hadn't seen this dog in forever. We hadn't seen him in 2.5 months. The last time I had seen Soldier, he was barely breathing. He couldn't stand up. He could barely lift his head up. No energy. It looked like he was going to die at any given second at that point. And when we went to pick him up, man, he was just so happy to see us. He was full of life. He was bouncing around, all that energy. You could tell all the love that had been poured into him by the staff. And he was just happy to see us. It was like he didn't know he had went through anything. He didn't realize he had been through any trauma. He didn't realize that he almost died. at 9 months old is when we started looking for his new family to find the right fit and let them know his life story, let them know everything that he had been through, because we felt that the right family would appreciate Soldier for what he was. Yes, he had some minor scarring and whatnot, and of course we would let them know about that, but we knew the right family would appreciate him because he has such a big heart, such a big personality, and such a crazy story of survival, and just that X factor about him. Like, he's the dog that has that X factor where you want to be around his dog. They were really into his story. They couldn't believe what he had been through. But I had to explain to them about the intestinal infection.
This was our first time buying a dog online, or really buying anything of any real value online. Our expectation, I guess, for him was that things were gonna go great and we were gonna have this great dog. For me personally, I just don't really trust the internet. So for me, I completely doubted everything from the beginning. I'm like, there's no way this is real. This dog isn't gonna show up. And I really didn't. I just don't buy anything really on the internet like that. So I didn't have a real expectation from the beginning. But luckily, from the beginning, working with Andre has been really easy. He put us at ease from the first contact that we had was answered so completely, and there was always an openness and a willingness to give any information that we asked for, that it didn't take long for us both to realize that this was going to go smoothly.
The day that Soldier departed to meet his new family was a bittersweet moment for both.
The process ended up being easy, as fast or as slow as we needed it to be, very transparent, and I felt very professional with the contract and the process. It was a lot better than I expected it to be at first.
Andre was happy to see him go, but sad to see him leave.
This any shot.
Have a leash to get him in the back. Because we didn't know how big he was going to be. We have. Well, we have.
We're gonna let him get used.
Oh, sure. He's just going to be a little bit nervous and scared.
She's 9 years old. And so from pictures, it's hard to tell what size he is.
He was in the hospital for
It's okay. Because I put all the soft stuff away, then you can check it. And the biggest pain stuff is still out. It's okay. Don't argue.
Soldier. What's up, baby? Snow. You ever get his first time seeing snow?
Meeting Soldier that very first day was very scary. Was very scary but exciting. I'd only had one pet previous to Soldier of my own, and so I didn't know what was going to happen. And when he got here, he was so shy and he was so scared and nervous, in this new house, new people, that we just didn't know what to do in those first couple minutes. So we just, we kind of got down on his level and just spoke real sweetly and softly. And it didn't take him very long to come up and start, kind of licking us and wondering who we were and sort of poking around and sniffing everything. And it, it wasn't an hour before we started to feel ourselves connecting with him and him connecting, just with us as a family. And having him at our house, we had thought we were prepared to have another young dog in our home. And I don't think either of us accurately remembered the amount of work and time that a puppy needs. That first day, we just both kept looking at each other and we're like, oh my gosh, did he have an accident? Oh my gosh, he's doing this, he's looking at this, and and he wasn't being bad, he was just being a new puppy in a new house and checking everything out and sniffing everything. He's learned so many commands already. He's no longer jumping on the furniture, he's not knocking people over when they come in. It's been awesome. He's learned so quickly. He's so smart and so sweet and so gentle and so willing to give love and to try and please us and do what we want. It's been so great. We're a family that likes to get out, be outdoors, be active, and I see a whole lot of time on the lake for Soldier. I see time up in the mountains when we're skiing and sledding. I see camping for him. He is, to me, the ultimate example of what good breeding and a good family can do for this kind of dog. So happy to have him to be a part of our family. So thank you so much, Andre. Thank you, BGK. You guys have been so great to us, and we look forward to seeing more of what comes in the future. Thanks.
BGK Soldier's future is bright, is extremely bright. He's with a happy family. They love him. They post him on Instagram all day, so I get to see him interacting with their friends, their family members. I get to see the bond he's forming with their son, with the father, with the mother. The entire family is loving on him. He's living the happily ever after that I always hoped that he would. And this is like a fairy tale. This is a dream come true. This is that happy ending that a lot of dogs don't get. So I can't put it into words how happy I am about his future.
Now, Soldier looks amazing and his future is bright. He has a new family now that has accepted him as one of their own. He has found a new best friend in their youngest son, a true companion indeed. He is given all the love and care any dog could ever ask for. Because of his resilient spirit, his will to live, his love for people, and his love for life, BGK Soldier's story has reached its happy ending. Fight on, my friend. Fight on.
In a tragic turn of events, BGK Soldier would die a horrific death just 1 year after arriving at his new family. Now, when BGK Soldier was purchased originally, it was by husband and wife, Jared and Quinn. And it is the wife, Quinn, who you can hear in the original audio thanking BGK.
Thank you so much, Andre. Thank you, BGK.
For providing Soldier to their family. The couple had multiple children together, but not long after getting Soldier, Jared and Quinn divorced, with Jared keeping custody of the dog. Jared was in love with Soldier and said that was his only friend after the divorce. Jared had to go overnight for personal testing and asked his ex-wife, Quinn, to pick up Soldier and take care of him overnight. His ex-wife picked up his dog in the car, went to get dinner for her family, and when she got home, Soldier was left in the back seat of the car with the windows up. Quinn went inside, took the dinner into the house, forgetting that Soldier was in the back seat, and he remained there with the windows rolled up throughout the night and the evening until he suffocated. So sad that Soldier went through so much to die such a tragic death young. I was told this was an accident, and I'm always open to hearing your opinion. Drop it in the comments and let me know what you guys think about the way this story turned out. In this channel, we do all kind of story times. Some are happy, some are sad, some are crazy, some are angry, but they're all real and always entertaining. If you like our channel, like, comment, and subscribe. Drop a comment because I love hearing what you guys think about the story times that I give to y'all. If you want to see the biggest and best XL American Bullies in the world, the creme de la creme, check out BigGeminiKennels.com, BigGeminiKennels.com. Again, please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. And remember,
It don't cost nothing to hit that button. Andre BGK, and I'm out.
Every day I stay high, rolling up G7, we gon' stay right. Yeah, I got the answers like I'm AI. Bitch, you know I'm on that.